know, Bangladesh Research has been actively involved in promoting research activities across various colleges in the country, aiming to establish postgraduate research communities and encourage students through research clubs. This Research Learning Program 2024 is a testament to our continued effort in this direction. As you already are, this is a research learning course consisting of a total of 34 classes. Currently, we have completed 8 classes. Moving forward, we will be providing a total of 10 assignments. Among the participants who attend classes regularly, selected learners will have the opportunity to engage in research, internship assistantship, access research jobs, and network with supervisors and mentors globally. Now, let's introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today's sessions, the distinguished, renowned, and highly respected Dr. Mary Bishwas Ma'am, Assistant Professor from the Department of Geography at Presidency University, Kolkata. We are truly honored to have wealth of knowledge and expertise enriching our discussion. A warm welcome to Dr. Mary Bishwas Ma'am, and thank you for joining us today. We are honored to have you with us, ma'am. Before proceed with the session, I would like to remind all participants to mute their microphones to minimize background noise. If you have any questions or thoughts you would like to share, please feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat. At the end of our session, we'll have a question and answer session where you can ask your questions. Now, I would like to request Dr. Mary Bishwas to start her discussion. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And first of all, I'm very much thankful to Bangladesh Research Society for inviting me in this occasion and in such a platform to enrich you all regarding this topic of today's discussion. And I'm very much thankful to also to my institute where I'm getting too much knowledge. I have acquired knowledge during my job and from my research background. So myself already she has introduced, but in this field I'm just 18 years I'm doing this in this field, and so many experience I gathered both in case of field geography and also in case of the research perspectives. So this kind of discussion is very much important to the students who are who are really engaged in such a work, and they have some type of knowledge or they have some type of uh, reliability on this type of study, that in higher education, in higher studies, how research is important, why research is important, why we'll do that, and how we'll do that. So in this respect, through my knowledge, through my experience, I must explain that how we can go through it and how we can achieve a goal of research in near future. So now I'm going to share my screen. So if any problem, so please tell me. So I'm going I'm going just to share my entire screen here. Is it visible? Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
Visible.
Yeah. So I'm very I prefer actually the interactive session too much. So the first 1 hour I shall talk about different things, and today's topic is very important, and I must give you an idea of our work, that on the basis of that how we can proceed, how we can work on in our practical life, in our geosciences, in our other aspects of our study. Basically, I'm from Department of Geography, Presidency University, but I do practice on the some sort of things related to the tectonic geomorphology and others. So like as a geomorphologist, how the research is there, how the research is conceptualized, and how we can go through it, so that there are some basic things that we have to m- know, and we have to analyze in a very brief way, in a very conceptual. We have to conceptualize in a very minute things we have to consider, and it must be a very important thing to your study, that how you can proceed with this type of things. So first the point is that today's lecture is based on the three things. That is, one is the research rationale, then conceptualizing, and then the proposal writing. Now my question to myself, that is why I have taken these topic, these three words that is very important in my study, that is in our research goal, in our PhD work, in our research near future. Why these three things: rationally, research rationally, conceptualizing, and proposal writing? Why these things? Why? The first thing is that in the recent times, through what condition we are going. I don't know what is the real temperature condition or the climatic condition right now in Bangladesh, but in Kolkata we are suffering a lot. Today is that is near 42 degree, and it's a horrible condition in Kolkata. We are suffering. Schools are going to be closed from next Monday. So these kinds of things, it's a climatic phenomena. This type of things, there are too many things in our world, in our nearby all things. So first of all, we have to consider the dimension of scale of our research. What is the scale? Scale means how we can conceptualizing the scale, how we can understand the research rationally in concept of scale. What is this? In case of your localized area to a global, this is a long scale where we can analyze our research attitude, where we can express our views. We can talk about what are the real problem is going on. I must request all the participants, if there anything is confusing you, or any word you can't understand, please tell me, and you just on your audio and ask directly. Okay. So now let's move on to the next things, that is why the research rationally. Now think, if I consider a section of uh, your area, that is in Bangladesh. So, what is research rationale? So, there are some interdisciplinary or research rationale is going to change. First of all, I will discuss the basic things. Then I will give you the examples that how we can go through it in our practical research work. That is very important. Not only the theoretical knowledge, you have to apply that in your work. That is important. So because of that, in the past decades, there are so many things in that section that people started their research in their personal domain, personal, I mean, their specialized domain. Their goals are very specified in geosciences. But recently, we are going through a interdisciplinary research. Like I'm a geographer, I'm a geomorphologist, I'm working with the geophysicist, I'm working with the geologists, and somewhere the seismologist also. So that is a part of our recent trends of study. That is the how the earth system is going on, how we can connect the nature of earth systems, why they are changing. If I consider, if I given so many examples I can give, how the changes of things, how we can, if we are affecting by these, like the climate change, maybe the natural hazards, maybe the resource management, maybe that there are other human issues, human problems that is going on or increasing day by day. So research rationally mainly concentrated on what things? Why? Why I will do that? Research nationally actually identify the research problems at glance. Why will do that? Where is the problem? Where is the glitches? Where is the nature problem? Where is the changes are going on in case of any particular region? You can talk about any urbanized area, how these if there is a urban area and in the within that there is a river, so if with the time span how the river water is polluted, or the how the urbanization is affecting the river, so this is maybe a resource rationale, because if we see the problems are coming from there. So I think that type of things we have to visualize first. The what is the research rationale? Why we'll do that type of work? Why we are taking this issue? If I consider a example from Bangladesh, there is a Chittagong fold belt, right? So there is this Chittagong Tripura fold belt that is very tectonically active area, but there is a study that stated that the if the west eastern part of that is more active or the western. So there is some research rationale coming out, because of that we are taking this type of things, that which fault is going on to be active, because there are some subduction things are going on in that case. So in that case also, if we consider the natural hazards, why these natural hazards, where it is coming, and how it is changing to the disaster, so there is a point of that research rationale. We can say that any type of hazards become a disaster. How it is becoming a disaster? Why it is becoming a disaster? If any landslide is occurring in a higher altitude of a mountain and it's not affecting anything, so it's not a disaster. So it's going on, it's a natural process. But when it is affecting, that is a disaster. So there is a research rationale, but in this research rationale there are we are actually incorporating the another thing, not only the nature, also there is a impact of anthropogenetic, that is that we can call the autogenic and the allogenic things, that is the human intervention, the impact of human intervention, constructions. There are too many things that we are doing in recently, how they are affecting the nature. So these kinds of things are the research rationale. In research rationale, we must try to understand what is the problem, why we'll do that, why we'll start this type of things, and where we'll start and where we'll end. What is the what are the issues there? Why we are taking that? So there may be a question of regarding this, that if the research rationale we are identifying the problem first of all, or through our work we will find out the problem. There are two very closely related things. That is, first of all, we are standing in a field and we have seen that okay, this problem is going on. Secondly, through our work we can identify, yes, there is some anomalies there, so we must talk about that, we must concentrate on that. So these type of things also included in a research rationale. So so motivated researchers, first of all, they try every time, they try to develop a innovative methodologies or approaches to identify this type of problems and to identify the research rationale. So if we consider the things is like that, that all the cyclones that may mostly generated in the Bay of Bengal, and that is it increasing in its frequency in the last 30 to 40 years? It's maybe a research question, but data, if we consider the data, it will speak about that it is increasing or decreasing. So is there any problem is there, or there this type of cyclonic effect, they are affecting the total coastal belt of eastern coast of India along with the Bangladesh? So how these type of things are important? There may be a thing that sometime I think about that, why this type of arc shape is very affecting by that. If you think about that in a very systematic way, if you see, that is the arc shape of Himalaya, the arc shape of these coasts, the arc shape of Pacific ring of fire. So arc, there is a thing that is the shape of arc and the effect of these type of things, there are must be correlated, but I have not yet studied, but I have seen this, I have observed, or maybe I'm trying to notify the things in different terrain. Why? So this type of things are called the research rationale, and later on I will also explain through the examples of a few work of mine that how we have identified these things. Now, come to the conceptualizing. Conceptualizing is a what is a conceptualizing? Anyone? If you have any idea, please respond. Anyone? Please respond, because I like interactive session mostly. If you have any idea, this is not a
Making
one sided.
something relevant,
Yeah, please.
making something relevant to the subject that you are trying to research. Is it that kind of thing?
Yeah, really, yes. From research rationale, we are going to enhance, or we are going to touch the concept. From research, you have seen a problem. Now you are conceptualizing. You are thinking about that. Why it is going on. So you are going to conceptualizing the matter in case of different disciplines like geology, geography, ecology, climatology. In different aspects, you can conceptualizing. As an example, what is this? If you are observing a river water quality is decreasing due to the urbanization, that is the research rationale, that is waste. With the urbanization, the river water is affecting, the river course is affecting, and the water quality is decreasing. There are so many pollutants are also there. So you have seen that. Now you are conceptualizing. Is it because of, is it a part of urban geographical part, or is it a part of urban ecology, or how it is related to the river ecosystem or river ecology, or is there anything like there are some anthropogenetic impact there, right? Like the urban planning, underground sewerage system, is there anthropogenetic impact out there? These impact, actually the anthropogenetic factors actually playing a major role to polluting the river water or river sediment. So these, now in this way we can conceptualize the thing. Whatever we have seen, we are conceptualize the entire matter in a goal. That is okay. You can analyze. We can analyze in this way. We can analyze in this way. So there may be a different backgrounds of our analyzing that we can conceptualize through our research rationale. Clear? Is it clear?
Ma'am, that means it's a kind of a hypothesis, right?
Yeah, first of all, hypothesis is that there is some concept is there, and we are trying to prove that. Hypothesis is that that is already, that theoretical background is already done. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, whatever we are seeing, that is what is the research rationale? Why is the problem? Why this is going on? Depending on that, we are conceptualizing things. Okay, we can understand this in this ecological section. We can go through a climatic factors also there. We can go through a geographical, that if it is a foothill urban area, that problem is quite different from a coastal urban area. That must be different. If it is a higher altitude, like if it is a city like the Shimla, that is different. So there is some geographical space differentiations also there. There are some topographic characteristics are also there. There are different topographic characteristics also there. So these type of things are actually affecting the conceptualizing our our research goals. So the opportunity of that is conducting any research and finding the constant of the supervisor, it means that some time of some preliminary tasks we do, that we are conceptualizing. Okay, sometime we went for vacation, we have seen these things, so we can manage a time for research, or we can available, if fund available, we can go for a research, we can apply for a fund, or can apply for a project. So this is a some type of things, but within that we can conceptualizing the that what will be the topic of that where we are concentrating. It is a part of our study, that how we can go through it. So topic exploration, that is an important part. Then the topic selection, it may be that you can concentrate on that, how the urbanization is going on, is there any impact, so you can concentrate your area of study on urban growth, that much more rather than the river. But you can also concentrate that how the river is polluting over time, or the different stretches of the river from upstream to the downstream, and how it is affecting the ecology of that river or the aquatic system of the river. You can concentrate on that. So topic exploration, with that we'll considering the topic selection also, and then we can go through some type of, that is the research worthy problems also there. So we are conceptualizing these type of things, that we can do these things. We can go for examining the that is the secondary data. Then we can go for the, okay, so you are thinking, you are conceptualizing the primary task, that is okay, it may be like that. Then we are selecting the problem. You are thinking, it is just a conceptual, you are not applied yet. Before that you are going to think about that, or you are going to assess that it may be or it may not be. So before starting any research, every time we started, actually I prefer to do that, that what is the going on, let's see that what is going on. After that we'll finalize that, okay, that this is a going. So the research rationale is important. As usual, it is important for identifying any type of problem over there. So now,
Now,
hello,
hello.
uh, is it I'm audible now? Hello.
Yes.
Yes. So now, the now come to the recent trends of these type of things. Why to define a research rationally? Now I think you have gained some concept of research rationally. Now come to the point of that, what the recent trends, research projects, and why the, this is a writing, I'm not going to read that thing, but it's better to better to explain uh, that how we have seen a problem. Now we are trying, sorry, we are trying that, the novelty of that, what is the justification, why we'll do that. So justification of that river problem, I mean to say that after identifying that problem, is it justifying the natural laws, or sometime of there is some things, that is the different types of things are coming, like there are some literature gaps throughout the literature. Is there there are some gaps or there, that before previous researchers and workers, they have not yet told about this type of things, is it like that? So sometimes the originality also important, the novelty of that important. What is the originality and novelty? What is originality and novelty? The originality means the problem is originally is going on, or you are conceptualizing, or there is some justification that whatever you are conceptualizing, that is true, that is research rationale. And the novelty, that where is the novelty, that work is, that is we are going to understand, it is acting like a novel, there is something coming out from our research. It may come, it may not come, but there some novelty is there or not, there are some significance. So as an example, that we are getting a problem of any area where there is some area like flat, it's a heavy flat phone area. So we are getting a problem that every year that area, like the city of Guwahati in Assam, that every year it's getting getting flood every year. And if we consider the hazard like seismic hazard in Assam basin, so mostly the that area, that Guwahati town and others townships are, it will affect mostly, because in case of that, all the urbanized area, urbanization is going on in a very high rate in that flat top, that is a flat area of the Assam Valley. So not in the higher altitude or the elevated or the rugged topography of Arunachal or either or in that area. So when we visit that area, we can see that a huge type of a huge urbanization is going on. So if any seismic activities, if any type of things happen there, so it will affect. So if we are working on the hazardous monitoring the hazard, monitoring the disaster or the susceptibility of that, so we must think about that novelty. Yes, that is going on there, so you can, it is affect the human beings, it's affecting the ecology, it's affecting the other forest ecosystem or any natural resources is affecting. So we must think about that, what, where is the novelty of that, and how we can increase the that is the of funding or changes of that. Actually why in case of research rationale, so we are thinking about funding. Why we are thinking about funding? That's my question, that why to our work where it is necessary, we have to find out the problems, and after that we have to go there, we have to find out the data, and we have to accumulate the data in case of to study to justify our things that what we have taken in our research rationale. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it? Yeah. So if any question,
Ma'am,
please, because after that I
can
will
I
go to the next step.
can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Please.
So, as I understood that rationally means why I am doing the research, and conceptualizing means the visualization, how the research or which topic is going to touch in the research. Am I right, ma'am?
Yeah, you are conceptualizing the things. You are conceptualizing, not you are applying.
Is it related with the visualization,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is related to the visualization, because after the research rationale, you are visualizing the entire thing of justification, literature gap, originality, and other things. That is the
Right.
from the research rationale it is coming. So there are 7 steps of writing the research rationale. So how you can interpret that, how you can get into down that, how we can justify these research rationale is applicable for your research. That is a very important, right? Okay,
Yes.
please, next. Any more things? Anyone? So may I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. So now come to the things, that is what is a framework? What is a framework of a research rationale? What is a framework? Uh, is it, is there any boundaries of conventional disciplinary boundaries are there? What is a framework of a writing a research rationale when you are we are thinking that yes, this we can do, and there are too many things we can consider. So how we can go through our writing? If you are submitting a research proposal anywhere, so there must be a heading that is research rationale. So how you will write that? You can understand that, you have seen that, you have conceptualizing that, but before conceptualizing what is the research rationale and how we will write that. So there are 7 steps of writing the research rationale. First, that identifying and define the research problems that I discussed. Now, when you are identifying and defining the research problems, you have to understand that why this problems, this type of this problem, whatever you have seen, why you are taking into considering, why you are considering this problem, why you are trying to identify that, why is there any, that is the answer, is the justification. There must be some justification of your identified problems that may happen, there may be some, there must be, or maybe some researcher gap, there must be some originality, there must be some novelty of that. because of which you are identifying that problem. So identifying and defining the research problems, they mainly include this type of justification, some type of gaps, questions, and novelty, originality. So all these parts, perspectives of research rationale that you have to think before identifying or defining the problems. The second one is the review of the literature. What you can understand of the review of the literature? How many types of review you can do? Have you any idea about review of literature? Different types of review, or the types of material that we are collecting through the internet services or other libraries and from other resources. There are some review literatures identify. There are some classifications also there. Sometimes we go through some reports. There may be some technical reports. There may be some newspaper reports. There may be some documentation.
Journals.
And secondly, some journal publications. There must be some recent books on that topic. There are some local newspapers or local reports maybe there. There's some government reports also there. There must be some related to the unpublished things that you have to take permission to get that. This type of things also there. In that case, sometimes I faced problem like I'm getting only the abstract, not the full paper, because that is the restricted. So this type of literature that you are getting, there are different types of literature. So from that literature, we can get the idea that how much our research rationale is justified. Now come to the another point, that is the literature, whatever you are going through, the scale of the study. So if either there is a topic of like pollutions and urbanization, so how many works already done by different authors throughout the world in last 25 years? We can take a time span for reviewing that. Secondly, if it is going on in a world scale, where in which river they have applied, we can point out in Google Earth, and we can analyze that with a time span in a 5 years or 10 years gap, that how this research is going on, where is it's trained recent trends of research, how they are combining the knowledge from several disciplines to assess our problem, your rationale, your problem, your research goal. So you have to identify that from the review. Now come to your next scale. After the global scale, now find out in regional scale how many works already done in case of your country, in your region, and ultimately in your localized study area that you are going to do work on that. So that is review of the literature, that is very important. And we can also prepare a data set in Excel with this huge data set that usually I asked my scholars to do that, and they had do it in a very elaborate way. That is how this literature review, we can quantify the review. You can quantify. How you can quantify? That is there is a Excel sheet there, so you can write like the serial number, authors, work done, where it is done, year of publications, main goal of study, and what they have find out, and where is the gap that is not yet studied in that research paper. So in that way, we can prepare a data sheet, a huge data set of literature review. And from there, you can plot them in a world scale, in your regional scale. You can go for a time span like 10 years gap, how this research is going on and where it is increasing, in which time span and which area, which country, which area is going more importance to the researchers. Then we can understand, yes, there is some justification of research problems over there. Because of that, the people and other researchers are getting interest. So that is a part of your review, that is very important, that how, not the review itself, that problem is that how you are getting that idea, how you are getting the huge data. You can get the data, or you can get the idea from your reviewed materials. So from there you can prepare also a review article of that particular topic. So your, in your proposal there must be a some literature review. From literature review there must be a some brief gist of that, like the abstract, like the that is summary of that, that in a through last 30 years this research work is going on in that a manner, and in throughout world this part of world is taking interest in this region, or in my country this area is more fascinating area for working on that. So if anyone asked me to work like active tectonic, I must say that I will work with Northeast India. So why? If anyone ask me that you can talk, you can work on which area we can work according to the recent trends of floods, I must tell that we'll work in the higher altitude flash flood, like the cloud burst flood, because this is a coming days is the problem. Because through literature I have seen there is some justification of that, how the climatic change, or I must concentrate on that, how the importance of anthropogenetic impact on river ecosystem. So these are coming out, how we can, I can say to you all of you that how I'm saying that these areas are most interesting. How? Because through the literature data I'm conceptualizing that. Okay, that area is problematic, or these topics need to be studied, that is not yet done. So from that we can state the significance of that work. What is the significance of that I'm going to tell about that? What is the significance? So our literature will say that yes, this point is important, this point is not. You can also um, prepare a hierarchy of that problems, that you can rank them, that these problems are most important in this area and this problem is not important in that area. It's later on we can study, but this is a very vital issues are there. So if you consider this type of things, so that the significance of the state of the significance that we can understand from the this type of things. Now let's, now if I am identifying that through the literature and other things, so how we can justify to our study area. So now the coming from the literature review, what is coming? It's coming the research gaps, where the work is not yet done, or there are some point there is a lack of work, people have not yet done something, or when they are tried to do that they are not able to find out the things. That is a problem, or that is a point that we can also understand that yes, that is a literature gap. Where is the gap? This gap is very important, because from this gap we can identify where we concentrate. Whatever already done, or whatever people already said about that, we never understand that which one is the important part to study. So that is an part, and from this aspect literature review is very important to identifying the research gap. And also it is important to identify our research goal, that where we will concentrate, where we'll say that okay, this part not yet done, or this part is important, so we are concentrating, or this portion is done in this way, but I want to do it in a different way. How you can say that? Before literature review you can't analyze these things, so the justification of your thing, that will be actually, that will manifested by your work, that is your review and your research attitude, that will justify that yes, there is a gap. So from there we can also expect, that is the research questions, why it is. When you are doing a work on any sector of uh, your your country, that I started that work but not yet completed right now. that why this delta section, that is the Bengal delta, the some part of in a very small part in India and some, most of in Bangladesh. So this delta section is very tectonically active. So how we can justify that? Too many people have worked on that, but there is a research gap. What is this? Why why in recent times most of the earthquake events, that events are occurring in a Chittagong fold belt in the east of this Bengal Delta, and in the plateau fringe area of India related to the West Bengal in the west. Between these two, there is a Ganges, that is the Bengal Delta, that is very tectonically active. But in recent times, the earthquake events are increasing in these two easternmost and the westernmost border area of this Gangetic play of this Bengal Delta. So through literature, through these things, I have identified that things why it is going on. So now you can understand that from these highlights, I can expect the outcome. I can expect the result, that what type of things are coming out, what may coming out. It's may coming out that this area is under two different things. As an example, I can say that the easternmost Chittagong area, that is a fold belt, that is a young fold belt. So that part is quite different than the westernmost plateau fringe area, that is a part of Chotanagpur plateau. So that part is quite different. So the topography totally different, their origin different, and their recent trends of sleeping, that is different. But in both cases, the seismic activities are increasing. So there is some things that is these expected, that is that we can find out some results from there. And now after that, we can go through that. Okay, these are the problems, these are the things. Now we can set our objective and with the methodology of that. So now frame the objective and then the methodology, discuss methodology. Within that we can include what are the objectives, how we can frame the objectives mainly framed on the basis of what, on the basis of our research gap. We are going to fulfill that gap through our objectives. So our objective will say that yes, this is a research gap, so this is going on, this is the research gap, so we can concentrate on that. So our objective. So there is another thing I would like to mention very prominently. Please try to understand difference between the methodology when you are writing. The every time I have seen the students to mixed up these things, that is objective and methodology. You are preparing a map of flood zonation map, right? Preparation of flood zonation map, it's not a objective, it's a method. What is the objective? To assess the probable flood prone area. Understand?
Yes, miss.
Yes. So to understand thing, to study the seismic trends of seismic activities, that is the objective. What is the methodology? Methodology is application of frequency distribution or magnitude distribution graph for assessing that. That is the method. But this is the objective. Every time you must keep your mind that is from research gap, you are just extracting the objective to study the entire thing in a single goal, and uh, to reach the goal you are fitting the objective, sorry, you are fitting the methodology. Okay, so there must be a methodology in a different steps. There are too many steps maybe. For the first objective you must prepare a methodology, for the second objective different methodology, from third is different. So in that way you must prepare your proposal, or you must think about this. You have to be very very clear about this. That is first research rationale, then you are justifying that, you are going to the literature, you are identifying the questions, then that is the gaps are there. You can explain, you can quantify the reviewed papers. Through that you can show through the maps, through the graphs, that is what is going on that point. Then you are fixing the research gaps and you are fixing the objective on the basis of that, and for each objective you can frame a different methodology.
Miss, can I ask you something?
Yes, sure.
Yes, about literature review. Maybe this question will be very childish, but I
No,
have a
no.
question that is, um, as we are student and we get shortened of time for
Hmm.
research, so there are lots of resources
Hmm.
for literature review. Then,
Hmm.
how could you manage lots of reading of literature review when
Oh,
you are
sure.
student or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that?
Okay, 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 okay. That's a very actually. First of all, what can I say that first of all, uh, uh, I mean to say that whatever my job, I'm an assistant professor there. So, and whatever my job is there, that is a profession. But I have another thing is that I'm very, very, very much interested, and every time I'm very enthusiastic about this type of research things. And I believe that every time I tried to manage this literature through the recent things actually when uh, as you think that when I'm instructing my scholar that how you can do, and your question that is first of all all the problems I have identified, and I try to find out the papers on that in different sources. Like I can go to researchgate, you can go for Google Scholar, and I have some membership of different universities from where I can get the papers after just publishing on my research interest. So after that, the important is that when I'm getting the paper, I just go through it with its abstract, then how this research goal is already fixed up, and I just highlight the things that is interesting point that is included that paper, and I note that what is not there, what are the
Oh, I
points they
got it.
missed. Okay.
All right.
And not only that, but when I read, I go through it normally. Okay. But through my students and scholars, I every time ask you just note it in your Excel sheet. That is very important. In their mobile, that actually they did. Actually, one of my scholar they did in a mobile, and through her journey when she's coming from home to my university in a bus, and she was sitting there and she was searching that things and getting the data and putting that in that Excel sheet. Okay, so it's
Yes.
very, yeah, and saving that, and after that the data is generated in a huge data already generated on that. And so in that way they work. Actually there is a some training is going on from the PG UG section, because in undergraduate also there is a some research part of the in our curriculum. So from that point I actually used to instruct that do it in that way, not do that. So every time, and personally I also do it, and I like to do more field than this secondary data source, because field data says something else. There are some gap also there that I will talk about, and I'll show you that what is going on through my one of my project that is just completed. I'll show you that that is this entire thing, so then you can understand. So may I proceed now?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So now the things are actually it's like a uh, that how we can catch the fish from a pond. That is what is called in Bangladesh. I don't know. Here in Bengali, it's called jal. I don't know what is called there.
Yes, we also called it job.
Okay, so in case of research, first of all, we just put that we are want to think acquire the knowledge from different aspects, all the things. But after that, we have to take it out and we have to conceptualize in a certain point, like that is the point. You can understand, okay, this I'm very focused now. For the fixing your focus area, you have to conceptualize, you have to take the entire things at a glance first of all, and after that you are focusing, well, yes, after literature, after this is the focal thing, this is the focused area. So you have to be very focused on your observations, on your study area, on your topics. That is very very important, because you are telling that, okay, urbanization is going on and how the river water is affecting. You have to be very specific, that river water what is it? You are talking about the quality of river water, or if you are you are talking about the pollution of the river water, or you are talking about the sediments of the river that is polluting, or you are talking about the only the stretch within the urban area, or you want to talk that, no, that is the stretch before the urban area or after the urban area or within the urban. The three parts we are also want to consider. So that is the issue, that you have to be very focused on your work, on your topic, on your expansion, on your goal, on your study beings actually. So you have to be very focused on that. So conceptualizing, definition, then indicator selection, then operationalization and observation, these are actually a terms only, but you have to understand what you have to do within conceptualizing, within definition and indicator selection. That is very important. Indicator selection, you have focused, just you think that, okay, I'm focused, I'm on that river pollution or sediment pollution or river water quality. I'm focused. Now what will be your objective? Your objective to assess the water quality. Now, what will be the indicators there? What will be the methods? In case of river water quality, what are the parameters you have to choose? If you considering the sediment pollution, are you going to find out the heavy metals percentage or other pollutants? There are too many pollutants. There are too many heavy metals. Within the heavy metals, what are the indicators that you are selecting? Now you have to think about that, what kind of pollution is going there. Is it the source of pollution that is from urban area mainly? So you have to find out, you have to search the different the things, that is the pollutants that is coming from the urban area. The pollutants that is coming from the agricultural land, that is not you are going to consider, because that is not in your study area. If you consider the land use and land cover, that is the most of the area is under the urban. So the must that heavy metals or other pollutants, they are coming from the urban area, you must consider that to find out, not that is coming from the agriculture. It's maybe there are some pollutants that is coming from agriculture in the upstream area and is coming down, but that is not your considerable issues. Your considerable issues, that indicators that is actually fascinating your study, and that is within that urban, that you have conceptualized and you have find through your literatures that these sediment pollutants, they are actually coming from the urban sources. So now the concept of sources, there are some point sources, there are some non-point sources. Point sources, that is the point, they are coming from a separate point, like the outlets of the drains. There are some point sources that we can identify, but there are some non-point sources like the seepage water. Seepage water, you can't identify from where it is coming, but it's coming through the slope area, that is coming where is the it's joined with the river with the slope, the gradient matched, and they just coming down there. So that you have to sense that is the source area of that point source and the non-point. So these are the indicators, that in case of point source, what will be the indicators, what will be source points, that is also another part of indicator. And what are the non-point sources, what are the other indicators. So indicator selection, that is very important in case of your research, when you are totally focused. After then you are now operationalization, now you are focused, you have your indicators you have choose, everything is very clear to you. Now you are going to do the field. Now you are going to go there. You have to collect the samples from there. There are too many methods, too many things are there also. If you want to collect the samples like algae, or you can assess, you want to assess the E. coli type of things, then you have to take the samples very carefully within a glass jar, and you have to keep it in -4 degree temperature. From field, within 2 hours you have to keep it there. So there are too many things you have to consider in case of operationalization, because you are getting the data from which you can get the results of your study, and that actually come to in your way. So these are the total things we can take in a very summarized way, like research questions, methods, and paradigm. It's a very summarized way that I have already discussed with you. But here, the another thing is very important, like what survey, that is up what I want. You go to survey like primary survey, it may be secondary survey, is maybe some some type of perception study. Like you are asking too many peoples, what your idea about this? How much area is affected by flood during this? Is it increasing? Or this type of questions. This is a questionnaire survey. So perception study, it may be the field study that I do, like the sample study, like the rock samples, sediment samples that I collected from the field. So survey, what is this? I have to identify it. So then I do survey. Second, why I will do it. From that case, I have to prove that why it is going on, why this area is polluted. So we have to give the case studies. Okay, see, urbanization affecting the river water quality, I have seen it in that area. So that is a case study. So this case study is a interpretative way, or it's a it's not like the interpretation. I prefer interpretation with the explanations. That is why this case study. Why? If you see that every time that is flood is occurring in a total Assam Valley, why I am considering the case study from Guwahati, not the Dibrugarh, not the Silchar, not that. Why Assam? Why that is from Guwahati? So there must be a case study, there must be a research rationale, there must be some justification why I'm taking that. So that must be an explanation in that interactive things. Now, how we can do that? There must be a grounded theory. That is called also, there is a hypothetical theoretical background. Okay, this may happen because of this, but in field that is different. From last 20 years, from my when I completed just my MSc, and MA, and after that I'm started to visit the study area of Northeast India, and I thought that there are three rivers are there of Tista, tributaries of Tista, and in that area the three rivers are actually the same thing is going on. And I thought that during my PhD. And after that, I worked different types of things on landforms tectonics. Not yet I considered the sediments. But I thought that, okay, it's same area. It's only about how much? That is mainly within a 15 to 20 kilometer. What will be the changes? Maybe the same. But during my project in last 5 to 6 years, that I have seen that no, that ground theory or ground material that is saying something else, something totally different, that each and every river is carrying their own characteristics. They behaving in their own their behavior is totally different, and each and every one is they are actually pretend different things because of their sediment characteristics are totally different, because of their catchment is different, their length of river course different, their flat prone area is different, everything is different. In it is, it may be studied one by one. So that is the how it is going on. So we need the ground theory, we need the ground uh, checking on that. Is it going on in a parallel method, in a, or it is something else, or it is something different thing is going on. So we must concentrate on that. So on the basis of that, so sorry, on the basis of that, we are just going on this type of things that have already I have discussed. That is idea, then analysis, then concept, then implement, and after that evaluation. So you are thinking in that way. First, that idea, it may be you have seen the area, you have seen the problems, you have seen the things. So from there, maybe that idea is coming. So from that idea, how we can go through the research proposal. So this is actually the way, that is how we can go through the proposal writing, how we can complete, or we can say that yes, I am going to that. So how? Okay. So in recent trends of work, that is, some type of things are very important. Like you have already aware of that application of artificial intelligence, and how much this intelligence that is important to us in our research proposal writing, and how much our work, our knowledge is important. There are two contradictory in last few days from 14th to 19th in EGU, that is European Geoscience. There was a session. I think in 19 there was a session that the applicability of AI, is it actually uh, we may discourage this or encourage? Where is the goals of that? How we can rely on that? But sometimes I have seen personally in AI, that is some literatures like the review they are giving, that review is not yet available. Actually the DOI number is not there. That my scholar is also aware of that, because she tried also different times. So on the basis of that, our research things with time, our observation, our everything, there are new technological advancement. With the new technological advancement, when we are going to study, so there are these type of seven things that is important, in something, that is topic, goals, rationale, then validity. It's not a new word. Validity means it's originality, it's going on. Now if that is the research design, from research design, how it will come? It will come from your gaps. So in your proposal, it will be very clearly defined, it must be clearly defined, that what are the research questions that is coming out from your review, what are the research gaps, and from each research gap, or you can club 2 to 3 research gap into one objective. You can club, if there is a 7 research gaps, you can frame 3 objectives, clubbing 2 to 3 at a glance. So that is a thing. Now where you have seen the problem, what will be the absolute space that I'm just talking about, that why Guwahati, not others? So site selection. Why this? There must be some justification for selecting the area. So if that is a very resourceful, okay, fine. If there is the most problems are there, so you have to justify that through your work, that is the literature, through the recent trends of disaster, or recent trends of floods, or anything that is that on which you are going to concentrate. Or somewhere we can understand that if it is going on in that system, that way, what we can predict the future thing. What is the prediction? if we see that any time in any area, the land use utilization pattern is changing in a very vast way, and we can see that in a 2000, 2010, 20, 24. So we can compare them, and then we can go through a prediction like the time series, like the we can predict it through the Markov chain in a Tarset software. So there are too many things. So here we are going to our conceptualization, our objective. To fulfill our objective, there must be some methods, and that methods includes the technological advancement, use of primary data, use of secondary data, some remote sensing application if required, and field verification. That is very, very important in case of any type of work. If you are working in a, if you are coming from all, most of all, I don't know which discipline, how many disciplines are students are here, but if are coming from geosciences and others, so field verification, that is most important after doing the year. But that is also an important, that is before going to field, you have to study, or you have to acquire knowledge about the entire area, because if you want to find out any particular things, like if I identify that, okay, where is this type of things is going on, where which portion is much squeezed tough due to urbanization, which part of the river. So before going field, I have to prepare the map, studying the last 20 to 25 years, that is which part is going to be squeezed up or narrowing in a very fast rate. So we have to go there, and which one is not, and which one is the moderate class. So we can classes, we can give we can prepare a class accordingly, according our study, that is which one, where we'll stand in the field. That is very important, where we'll stand. We have to be stand in a area where is the problem is important, problem is going on in a higher level and the highest thing. And we have to prioritize that where we'll stand in that in field, and where that is the highly susceptible area, or that is moderate, and the low, there is nothing, there is no changes, changes are very minimum. So why the changes are very minimum, then we have to find out that in the field, and then we have to collect the samples from there. There are a sequence of research methods will come from there. Then we can understand that yes, that is going on in a very fast rate, in a very fast way, so that we can go for this type of study. So that is some. Now we can also compare in different section, that we can also go for the like framework. We can go that yes, it is somewhere it is comparable to this, somewhere. Okay, if we say that, can we compare the flood characteristics of Chennai and Mumbai? Both are coastal cities, but their geomorphology different, their origin is actually their location, geographical location. One is in a totally a coastal belt of alluvium, and there is some sort of things of that, and then one is Mumbai is on a basalt. If we compare a city like Lucknow with Mumbai, that is also, one is the great plains, one is on the basalt. So if you consider the high rise buildings of Kolkata and Mumbai, is also a huge difference. Our high rise are less, totally less, nothing comparable to Mumbai, because in this area on alluvium, that is not actually preferable to high rise after 30 or 30th floor. But in Mumbai, that is a base is very strong, that is a basalt, that is a Deccan area. So that area is very strong, the basement. So the high-rise buildings are mostly constructed in high rises are totally the pattern different in Mumbai than Kolkata. So this type of differentiations, there are some, but the development of the cities, that how they develop, that are different background. So there are some theoretical aspects also there. There are some framework there, but our goal, we are focused in a different way. So that is the totally idea that how we can go through a research proposal considering these important matters. And when we are going to our study, so how from this we can collect the data, then finalizing, sorry, data analysis, then some validations, then conclusions that may come. Sometime primary research, secondary research, we can supply these type of things also on the on case of our demand analysis and supply of estimation. So what is this? This the demand scale side analysis, that is a part. So we are based on our research. Sometime we have selected our research on resource availability or understanding of resource quality. What type of resource? So we have to find out that what is the economic value of that resource. If I have find out some clay materials in our Moribad Delta area, so we have to find out within that clay, is there any carbon is sinking, or any carbon is there, that is the carbon sequestration is there, or any carbon content is there. If there, so what is the economic value of that? I know there is a think of that, but if I don't know the economic value, so we can't go for that type of work. So our economic value, and then the its demand in market. But you know that recent trends of another research is the carbon CCS, that is carbon sequestration, and people are trying to do that to the in a saline water, in a sea. They are actually going to just injection of carbon dioxide within that, and from there they are just adjusting, trying to adjusting without changing climatic pattern. So there is a some demand analysis if we consider any resource like things. And there are some other things, that is if there is a sedimentation is going on in a high rate, we have to remove the sediment. What will be the utilization of that sediment? So we have to do some chemical analysis of that. How can we utilize that? So we have to estimate its economic value or its utilization rate among in the society. That is also an important part of our study. So when we are going to write a proposal, so there must be the 3 to 4 slots, like coming out things, maybe a economic value that you are assessing. It's maybe a some maybe a some message to the society, you can do this, you cannot do this, or this area is vulnerable, that is not. That is this type of. There must be some of the huge accumulations of data of, like the subsurface data, like the subsurface basement structural or fractures data. We are accumulating a huge fractures data through the magnetometer study. So that type of things also you can get, we can get. So we have to where we'll do that type of study, where the tectonically active, or there is a sleep rate is going on, or that is a subduction zone. On that area we can frame this type of work, and we can extract a huge data by this type of registimeter metimeter or magnetometer. So that kind of work we also done through our primary research work. Sometimes some human geography or some based on the secondary work, that is the in a broader scale, in a global scale, or in a national scale, we are trying to find out that some data sets, like the recent trends of sanitation in a global scale, as well as we are comparing it with our national scale. So in that type of study is totally based on our secondary sources, and we can do some very minimum or very little bit of things in a or validation in the primary things, because it's focus, your focus area is the comparing that things in a world scale, that where it is going on. So your data set, you are actually using a big data analysis. We are going to a big data analysis in your methodology for finding out your focused area or your goal of study. Okay, is it clear? Okay, hello, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Okay, now it's a very brief thing. That is, you are. It's a very brief. What I have already said, too many things, and it's a very brief idea of that how we can go for this type of study. So first, you have to write what 1 minute. That is title, then abstract, then rationale, research questions, methodology. But before that, I have said that I must say that not after research question there must be a methodology, objectives with methodology, analysis, and some schedule you can do in different things. So uh, there is one thing I will discuss, that is about title, that I have not yet considered yet, still now. Your title must be very focused and very minimum. Don't make the title too long. Sometimes I have seen the titles, just when I'm coming to the last word, I'm not able to communicate the first 2 to 3 words. Don't do that. Research title must be very a broad concept, and it will be focused in a point that you are going to study these things, but that will be very focused and it's a very minimum things. It will engage in the proposal and it will generate the title that is very concise way, and from title that will be matched, that must be matched with your objective, and then your methodology will fulfill the objective to ensure your title. So title is very important. Whatever is written in your title, you are going through, find out the things your rationally through that, then research gap, then everything is linked with your title, and on the basis of your title you are fixing the objectives and then the methods. So title is very important. With that we prepare some sort of abstracts, and with that is the research rationale also, that I have already discussed too much on that. So on the basis of that, that is the part of characteristics of research questions, and that is the overview how we can do that. 1 minute. That there are 3 to 4 points are there, proposal overview. So ultimate, that is, you find out a focused area first. I said that is a single problem, but must be some that is be able to find out the answer using the data collection. It may be primary, secondary, and that is you can solve the problem with your time. That is also an important. So, and it will provide the result. Some should be a relevant to your realistic. So you are going to field, you are ground truthing you are doing. So there is no questions about that, and it must reflect that how much important your field, that after doing the proposal, saying the completing the proposal, some expertise who is expertise on that, he or she can understand that yes, this type of work may find out, may extract some new things from the research, from this research. That is very important, and within that must we have fixed up our objectives on this type of things. So with this part, uh, we must concentrate the methods in a very elaborate way. I will show you that how you can write the methods. uh, so this is some investigation, nature of study, goals, investigation. There are methods maybe lag, but you must think the broad way of, that is the quantitative methods and qualitative methods. So quantitative method, there may be a primary, secondary, there must be a different types of things, but we must think about the research techniques. It must be very informative and trustworthy because of the value of that. It must be very important in case of your case study and survey things, to the most that the methods, that is the gathering the data, and that data is matching with your secondary observations. Yes, that is going on there. This riverside is totally is going to be narrow in a few years, we can predict. And in field you are also getting data. Yes, that is narrowing. That is the, you can measure the width of the river, you can measure the depth of that. So in that way you can collect the primary scale data that also validate your secondary observations. So that type of several benefits in that methodology. And every time you will start that, your first objective must be linked with your second objective. Your second objective must be linked with third objective, so that the methodology you can set in that way, that will give you a ultimate result or goal of your study at a glance. So that will give you a very important things. Now come to a case study, that is a different part. So I think still now whatever I discussed, if any question, 2 to 3 minutes I can discuss the questions. After that I will go to this case studies, this case study and some study I will show you that how we can proceed through our research. Please, any questions, any clarifications, whatever I discussed on the basic things of research rationale, conceptualizing and report writing. Yes.
So, Professor,
Yeah.
we came to know from your lecture that research rationally is something that is why we are doing research. So, what is the relation between research rationally and research proposal?
Research rationale, that you are identifying that thing. Okay. But you have seen something, you have seen, and there is some problems, there is some research opportunities are there. But in proposal, you are writing how to fix that opportunity, how to justify that problems, what are the methods, what problem is there. You are focusing on that through your proposal. Through your proposal you are actually writing or justifying, or you are explaining your research rationale through the different ways. Okay.
So, in research proposal, we need to mention the research rationale also.
Yes, yes. Research rationale first, then what? Literature review, from where the research gap will come, then questions, then on the basis of that we have to fix up our objective, then methods. And first of all, the title is very important, because through everything you have to justify your title.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone? Anyone?
Hello, Professor. Thank
Yes.
you so much for your nice lecture. My question is the justification of the study and the rationale of the study the same thing? Or and it
There is a, yes.
this should be included in the introduction part, or should I have to mention in another paragraph heading
No. Yes,
writing
yes.
the rationale
Research,
or justification? Thank
yeah.
you.
Research rationale, thank you for your question. It's a good way to ask that, where you will include that. It's very important. Research rationale actually talking about things that is a problem. And what is the, when you are doing the work, you are going, your justification is that, because through your research literature review, through your data set, you are justifying, yes, there is a problem, is there is that is happening, we have to concentrate there. And you have to write it in a different paragraph under different heading as research rationale, because in introduction what we do, we include research rationale, but with that we also include some sort of review also to find out that thing. Because there are some different way of research proposal writing. Somewhere they ask that you differentiate differently, you write the research rationale then introduction. But mainly in introduction we incorporate the research rationale part. But sometime when you will apply first time, or you were applying for a PhD, they ask for the research rationale first. They don't ask for the long proposal, because in research rationale, if it is fixed up, on the basis of that you will review the literatures and other things. So you can go for this. Okay, anyone?
So, dear professor, the point should be the consequence of the introduction, then the rationale, and then the literature review and
Yeah, yeah,
methodology, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And
And, and you
and
can
in
include some,
introduction,
in
and
introduction you can include some
introduction for
research.
rationally, there is something should be writing rationally, which is from the literature review. But
Yeah.
we measure the different point while we explain that the justification why we want to do that and
Yes,
what's the problem in details.
in
Right.
details, in details.
Thank you
Yes.
so much for
Yeah,
the
thank you.
clarification.
Yeah, anyone?
Ma'am,
Yes.
if you share your slide and professional mail, it will be helpful for us.
If it is possible, I must do it. I will talk to your organization because for that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, is it you have understand the entire thing? That's my question to all of you. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a little hard to
Yeah.
understand, but
Yeah.
it's now clear now.
Yeah. Now I'm showing you from my one of my research part that I think it will clear more. Let's have a look on that. So now it's a topic like the natural hazards, river dynamics, and anthropogenetic impact. So in case of discipline of research hazard, that is natural hazard and disaster risk, that is a very emerging issues in world and as well as in our countries also. But that part is includes a more different things, and now I have coined it like these type of things like hazard environment. What is the mechanism of process? Then hazard system, and what is the mitigation. So see, I have just differentiate this mitigation technology part. It is what it is actually. It is the demand to the society. It is the economic value. If we do anything, any methods or anything, is there anything that is management, that is emergency rescue, that is the risk management, prediction, assessment? What are these terms? These terms mainly facilitating, these terms are facilitating the human beings to the society. So that is a different box I kept it there. So in methodology, there are two things like see, some observations, then big data. I have said already, if our scale of dimension, it depends on that. Then scenario of simulation, how we are methodology we are applying in different cases. And in risk analysis, we are just going to do these hazard mitigation technological things. And in case of big data, how how the mechanism is started, then evolution, these all the things are included in there. So on the basis of that, that is the physical modeling, artificial intelligence, that is I have already told, that high performing computers that we need, these are the empirical, these are the tools, or these are the other technologies that we need for the fulfillment of our study. So now, with the time being time scale I told about, that target area, and that is with time how this hazard is going on in case of our supporting high tech leading to the art system, then integration disciplines give a interdisciplinary way how we can do it, how we can understand the evolution and law of catastrophic or improving the disciplines, or that is the habitat of the earth actually who are affecting because of that habitat, supporting resilient society construction, that are actually the affecting area of any type of work. So with the time we have to understand these things, how our target area is related to our time span. So Now, anthropogenic triggering of this type of hazard with the time being, that is also a process with time. See the horizontal axis, that is time, and that is the interaction type, that is primary, secondary, tertiary. There are some anthropogenic triggering things and some analysis, that is how the process is going on, how the process is affecting the secondary or tertiary. So now the conceptualization and problem point with the rationale. That is, the human beings always modified their surroundings for better adaptation, which include what? Buildings, urban landscape, dams, engineering constructions as bridges and other infrastructures. So we have seen that this work will thus try to portray the evolution of channel shifting and changes of sediment regime which are experiencing such morphological modifications and its related problems due to the construction of bridges across the middle part of a river course. That I have already told you that I have seen, I'm going there in the last 20 years, but I have seen, I thought that everything is going on in the same process. No, no, never. So that I have found out through my proposed work. So now I have fixed on that objective very clearly. I have marked the objective, and the red mark of the objective 1, that is the most focused area, and that is the study area map of in the left hand side that I have considered of 3 tributaries of Tista. So now everything is linked, that is how they are changing. Now, increasing flood probability, how it is going on, and which tributary among these 3 tributaries, that is Lis, Ghish, and Chel, which one is mostly affected. So, on the basis of these 3 objectives, now I have framed the methodology. See, the methodology for objective 1, that I have also prepared in a different way. That is the 3 different segments of one methodology, and I have listed the things, I have detailed the things how we have done the work. Now I think it is quite easy to understand with your with your last 1 hour lecture of theoretical background, right? Is it clearing? Is it clearing this case study, your idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am,
okay, okay.
please,
Yes,
once more clear.
yes.
It's not so much clear, ma'am. Please let
Which
us
one?
clear.
Which one? Tell me.
Basically, the difference between the proposal and conceptual concept note.
No, I'm not talking about the concept. Conceptualization means we have conceptualized. See,
Oh, I see. The methodology part, conceptualization of the proposal. Okay.
yes, this is the problems coined and conceptualized the thing.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
Now,
Mm,
on the basis of that, I have through the literature, I have fixed up these 3 objectives. Okay. On the basis of 3 objectives, this is the methodology for the first objective.
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So now on the basis of first objective, we are going to analyze. Now from this first objective, what is coming out? Coming out the analysis of spatio-temporal channel changes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Now see how we have done this. So we have considered the changes from 1930 to 2021. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Now we have considered the data like outcome of the first objective, that width of these 3 rivers, how they have changed. And also we have considered that how the sediment changes, how the in 21, how it was in 2022, how it was. So there is a huge difference. And what are these dates? These actually rainfall is related to the suspended sediment. So I have considered the maximum rainfall dates for collecting the samples for suspended sediment. So they are interlinked. So with these changes, I am going to compare that the sediments are coming down during the monsoon and during the higher rainfall days. So on the basis of that, see the condition of that I have already told, that in field where I will stand. Because of that, I have taken 7 sections of that. L1, L2 for the river, one river, then second river, then the third river. And we can analyze that from 1913 to 21, how this is changed, that is fulfilling the objective of our first objective of our study. Understand? Okay? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Now
Yes,
see.
ma'am.
Yes. Now I'm just skipping that. Now see where from these sediments are coming. These sediments are coming from the catchment area, and see that landslides of the red points, that is the catchment area, that how much many landslides are in recent times is increasing. And these are the sediment transport index, that is showing that sediments have deposited in the riverside in a different way. So our first objective, also the result of this, to also justifying our first objective, yes, that sediments are coming from the catchment due to the increase of landslides that is actually deposited in the river sections. Okay. Now this picture, that is actually showing that what the landslides are going on, but how it is related to the sediment, how it is coming to the river. So I have tried to find out, that is the stream that are connecting with the landslide, and they are actually carrying the sediment after the landslides to the river. So with that, I have find out some boxes are there. So these are the landslides. They are directly connected with first order or second order streams of the river. They are carrying the sediments to the earth. So this is my justification. Yes, that is going on, and I am fulfilling our first objective. And in that way, we have also considered the other hydrological parameters also. They also justify that yes, that is going on some anomalies near the bridges. This portion, actually the bridge area of that rivers. And with that, I have find out, see, with the study of 21 and 22, in river areas, there are somewhere the river is just scouring, and somewhere the river is deposited sediments. I have told, na, I thought that everything is same. No, the three rivers are behaving in a three ways. That is the result that is written here from 21 to 22, how this river bed is deposited and elevated. But in case of this river Chel, it is actually scouring is going on there. Because of that, all the bridge piers are coming out. So that is the study from that river dynamics, that over time how it is changing. From 1930 to 21, we studied from the secondary sources how they changes. Now in the ground truthing, for validation, for justification, changes I have find out in the field. I have calculated that, and I'm showing that these are the results that actually facilitating my secondary source of study. So this is the scouring condition during monsoon. Uh, see the video, and that is the condition of that. We can't go there. We'll just roast it. That area is very dangerous. So I think you can understand the river velocity and other things. Okay. So now see the photographs, how they are increasing that part, that video I have shown. This is the field justification. This is called that how. And this is the conceptualizing diagram to show the research. That is, yes, through my proposal, we can say that we'll prepare some conceptualized things to portray my research. Sorry, to portray my research. That is, yes, now the scouring is going on in that part. In monsoon, we have validating that. We have already validated in the 3 monsoon. And in case of this, sorry, this river, you can see how it is increased from 21 to 22. And this is the condition of this bridge, and it is increasing, and it is a mediocre, it is a moderate condition. It's some sort of things, it increasing sediment is deposited, but not in higher rate like this. That is the Lis river. So now you can correlate that how the field justification through your research, how we can go through it. So there are some modeling also there. That is, if the bridge is there, it looks like that. If it is not there, so the flood coverage area of this portion is not there. So that actually fulfilling my second objective through the modeling. There in the objective, first I said that some technological advantage like advancement we need, like modeling, AI applications and other things. So I have applied this modeling, that is HECRAS, hydrological modeling, for the fulfillment of my second objective. And I have did this, I had already done in case of that 7 sections, that is selected through my from my focused area, from my secondary data, that is these portion are important for the study. And I did that work in that area with these sections. So now, if we see the objective 3, that which river is mostly narrowing, actually the bottleneck condition, which the positive and negative increase of channel width, how we can do that. So see the second river, the most of this river, that is the squeezed up mostly. That is the bottleneck condition of this particular river, that I have find out through the work. So that is the important part, not these and these, but the second one is very important. And now this this actually from the which from 13 to 21, that is the secondary source. Now what I did from in field through the total station survey, that is an instrument, we have tried to find out, yes, the sediment aggregation near that river is going on in river list. The sediment aggregation is also, but the scouring is increasing in this river. So we have this profile we have done through the total station survey, and this is a data of 21 with 22 20 sorry 21. So after that in 22 23 also we did it, and now that project is completed, I've just submitted the entire thing. So same thing is going on, that sediment aggregation that is going on, that is I conceptualized on the basis of rationale. That is, I have seen that 3 rivers is going on in the same. I have seen that yes, same or same, no, not same. There are some differences in sediments. So I thought that rationale through literature. Then I go through the conceptualization. No, it's not like that. We have to do. Then the research gap is that each river is reacting same. No. Then the research questions, research gaps. Then I fixed the objective. Then methodology, and now the results is like that. So I think now we can understand that how the proposal you must write a proposal on the basis of that, that how much area you are considering, what are the points you are going to study, and how these results may come with your primary and secondary data analysis. So after that, these are the major findings that already find out on the basis of what? Objective 1, that is important. Objective 1, on the basis of objective 1, these are the findings. On the basis of objective 2, these are the findings. On the basis of objective 3. So what are the effects? Now what to the message to the society? What are the message to the who are doing these development things? That is, the heavy scouring will destroy and hamper the bridge piers that we have already studied, and increase of bed elevation that actually minimize the difference between the beaver bed and the bridge. So we have to, these two are the major message to the society. Please consider these things, have a look on that. That is going on through my research that I have find out. So these are few field photographs through my work in a monsoon and post monsoon somewhere. And you must ask about this. What is this? Anyone know? What is this? Hello? Anyone know this?
No, Professor.
No. It's called the Smith hammer. It's called the Smith hammer. It's actually define the rock resistance, tensile strength of rock. Actually, I proposed that if we shift the bridge, so where we'll shift that? For that study, I did a lot of work on that Smith hammer for the rock's tensile strength analysis, and these are some these instrument you can use also for the data. These are the tools actually. These are nothing. So on the basis of that, these are some instruments that we have used in our laboratory for that type of work. These are the suspended sediments actually after extracting, after getting the samples. And sorry, I must acknowledge them. And now I'm going to for the interactive session of the entire lecture. That is very important. So last 15 minutes, I think we can do this type of interactive session of that. And if you want to see any slide, please, we must go for that.
Ma'am,
Yes.
last slide you seen the tool. Is it for rocks and minerals identification?
Oh, this one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's a hot air oven. What the work? That is when we, this is the interior side of the hot air oven. Within this beaker, there is a water, some sort of water with the suspended sediment. So I fixed it in 80 degree temperature. So after evaporating the water, remains the suspended sediment like that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and this is a sheep shaker. It's a shaker. Here there are different sheep size so that we can find out the grains size of the bed load sediment, bed sediment. So these are the instrument we have used after collecting the bed sediments, that which grain size are mostly deposited. That I have seen that in case of sorry, in case of this river, the sediments are mostly fine, and in case of this river, the sediment grains are near to 15 that is the median value. And here that is the near the 75 microns. So we can you can understand that the most the fine sediments are deposited in that section, and this is a moderate section. But the bottleneck condition is going on in this case of this river, because the mostly that river is squeezed up due to the construction of across the road or rail bridge across the river. Next, anyone, please. Hello. হ্যালো।
জি ম্যাম, শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
হ্যাঁ, একটু নেক্সট একটু আলোচনা করব। কোথায় কার প্রবলেম আছে? Which one? Which slide? I have to clear all the things, please.
Can we name the research rationally as a short research proposal, Professor?
No, research rationally means the notable things that you have identified in your research area. And proposal means how you will do the work. That is the proposal. According to proposal, you have to sort out the things that I have shown in the case studies.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And next, anyone? Next, please. So, where is the problem? Anything?
Professor,
Yes.
is there any proposal writing fixed framework, or in it's open? Anyone can just write their own way, or there are some fixed framework to write any proposal?
Yeah, I have shown in one slide, uh, this one, I think. This is the major or thrust point for writing the proposal. That is, you have to give a title. This is a proposal writing in a very short way, but you have to consider the points that I discussed earlier, like, uh, sorry, like these things, you have to consider these things, but there must be some under some constructive headings like that, like title. What is title? How you will write title? What is abstract? Abstract means what is going on in your synopsis. That is, you are giving a summary, like a précis. In a literature there is a term précis writing, right? I think in your school days you did précis writing. That type of thing, like the précis writing. Then the rationale must be there. What are the things? What are the problems? This type of thing. So you all are undergraduate students. Are you all are undergraduate students?
No, Professor.
No, ma'am. We are some professionals, sir.
Oh, you are from different professionals also. Okay, okay. Okay, so actually I'm asking so that I can explain in your way whatever you want to know, that in getting touch into your regular work or your regular study. That's why I'm asking.
Ma'am, in
Professor, I
some
have a question. Is the
Yes.
abstract should be the part in the proposal writing where we should exclude the result conclusion?
No, actually you can't write the results or conclusion in your proposal, because what will be the result you don't know. You can assume, you can predict, right?
Right.
Yes,
And
so you never include that. You're actually in a proposal, it must be restricted up to a schedule or no analysis. Maybe this analysis is may change, actually methodology also change, because through your
right.
work you can identify, okay, this methodology is not working, this models is not working, no, I have to take that different model. It will be not in HECRAS, it will be in other 2D flow. So you have to, when you will realize that, you will realize through your work. So in your proposal, that must be a very probable methodology. Every time I use the term probable methodology or probable analysis, may be like that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So abstract should be included in a proposal.
Yeah, sometime we include abstract, not saying the total thing. What kinds of obstacles or what kind of things may come, it's include that part. It's not including the results or discussion like a research paper.
Okay, that means the proposal should be included introduction, rationale, hypothesis,
No, in
methodology.
introduction, that is the rationale, then
Yeah.
literature review, research
Yes.
questions, research gaps, and
Yes.
then objective methodology. And
Methodology.
you can include the conceptualizing within your introduction section also.
Okay. Okay. But should we include the conceptual note?
A conceptual note you can include within your introduction. As a
Oh,
conceptualizing, you think that is a conceptual note, no?
I see.
in,
Okay.
in a in a in a social background, in a social analysis, societal analysis, there is some conceptual notes. In geosciences there are some conceptualization of the area, so the both are same.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, next.
Professor,
Yes.
in our analysis part, do we only analysis the secondary literature, or sometimes we need to analysis the context as well? So, is it included?
This analysis is a probable analysis, what you are going to do,
Okay.
right? You are
Okay.
trying to do that. When you are trying to do that, all this literature analysis you are doing in your literature review part also. Okay.
Mhm.
But this analysis is that depending on this methodology, we can do such type of analysis that you are actually mentioning. But this
But can
analysis
we?
is a probable. And you can
But can
add some secondary work with proper reference, that yes, this kind of work already done, so my analysis may be differ from this, or maybe in same route, or may not be.
okay, but doesn't it necessary to show the context? I mean, the previous context of some issues that I'm going to address, or so in which part we will include it?
uh, I didn't get, please repeat.
No, in our analysis part, do you need to include the previous situation of our issues that we are going to address? So,
No, no. In your analysis part, what will be the probable analysis following your methodology, that will be included.
okay,
Okay,
got
so
it.
it's a probable analysis, but within time schedule, how you will analyze, or if your methodology, in your any part of your methodology change, so your analysis must be changed, no? So it is a
Yes.
probable analysis that what is going on, what we can take the data. If we do in that way, that maybe come out in that way, that we can analyze in these ways through the methodology. These methodology can facilitate this part of analysis. This kind of things, writing in a proposal, you have to write this type of things. Not you cannot totally write directly, yes, this is the method, because you have not yet worked on that, na? You have not yet worked, so you can't you say that directly.
But sometimes in methodology, it is mentioned that we are going to do the mixed methodology or qualitative or quantitative. So, do don't we need to mention it exactly?
Yeah, you can mention in methodologies that it's a qualitative data analysis. For this qualitative data analysis, I am going to follow these some methodologies, so that you can include. But methodology, what is it is you are fixing the methodology to fulfill your specific objective, right? So when during your work, it's your methodology, it's not addressing your your content, that is your objective, your fixed objective, then you have to consider the different methodology for for fulfillment of your objective. That is quite a different way, right?
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next.
Ma'am, I have a
Yes.
question that is, hello, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, my question is it important to add or include a budget section in our proposal?
Which one? Which one? I didn't get it. Very shallow sound actually. Please repeat, please.
Ma'am, is it important to add budget section in our proposal?
Include. It is important to.
Madam, the question is, should we include the budget part in our
Oh,
proposal?
okay. Our budget part. Okay. If you want to do if you are a research scholar with a GRF, or if you have any fund, so you may think that okay, I am doing this. Suppose I have find out a problem of cloudbursts in Ladakh. Okay, and I am very interested to work, and in Ladakh, I have visited that also area. But after that, when I started, I thought that I will write a proposal and budget. I am giving the budget to the proposed proposal to the government. Then we have to fix up. We have to write the budget. So then I'm thinking that okay, how much we need for the field work? How many field we need? Two fields. Within two fields, may I complete the work? No, no, no. I need two more fields. So I have to fix the budget. So when we are giving a proposal to the government, we are giving through proposal to a university, not my personal research, and sorry, my personal research also, and also for the another government project. So there the budget is very important. Okay, and if you are GRF fellow, so then you have to think that you are taking a field, or you are doing a work that is suited to your budget within that time frame or not. So it's not mandatory to include, but you have to keep in mind that.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. Get it.
Okay.
Professor, you showed us
Yes.
a framework to write a research proposal. Can you please show us any sample research proposal?
Sample means
Uh,
now
any
how to write the research proposal, that I explained that these type of things you have to include within your research proposal. So if I show any sample, so what type of things you want, that is there are too many topics that I have already shown you a case studies that how I prepared the sample proposals and how I worked on that, so that you can understand that your proposal must be under these headings, under these contents, so that you can fulfill your research. So uh, anything more?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Uh, uh, we can see that from your research proposal that you have added many statistical data and pictures. So,
Yes.
is it very important to add statistical data in proposal writing in research proposal?
In it is not the data, I have shown you some methods. Okay. Statistical methods that we can include for our study, we have to include that, you have to mention in your methodology section.
Yes, ma'am. And you also add some statistics.
That
So,
is actually the work that you must not include in your proposal. To proposal, it will be right, you should write like these are the methods, for this method we are doing these things, so that data we are collecting from through our work, not before that.
okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening, informative, and interactive discussion. Before concluding, I would like to ask to our audience, if you have any questions, you may ask, or we will go to the conclude session.
Okay. Sorry, 1 minute, please. I don't know why it's not
Sure,
working.
ma'am.
Yes, 1 minute, please. It's not working. I don't know why. Okay. So please, anyone? Anyone?
If anyone have any question, please you may
Actually,
ask.
through my lecture, they have asked too many questions, and I actually, uh,
Yes, ma'am.
yes. Actually, I preferred that with my lecture they asked, because from one step to another step that I can explain. So anyone, please.
Yes, ma'am. For them, the session was really interactive.
One thing, may I ask? Hello.
Okay, ma'am.
May
I'm
I ask
sure we
something?
don't have.
May I ask
Yes,
something?
ma'am.
Yeah, I'm. Is you
Sure,
have
ma'am.
any? You have
Sure,
any
ma'am.
feedback system? Have you any feedback system?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am. Our participate can yes, ma'am. We have feedback system. Our participate can directly message us.
Okay. So, if possible, two to three or anything, if it is possible, if you please share to my. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. So, thank you for the patience, all the participants, and thank you, Bangladesh Research Society, for inviting. And I'm very delighted to present such an interesting topic with some part of my work also, so that I think they will be they have facilitated, and they are very much interested in future. They will be interested. So thank you to all of you, all the participants. Thank you so much, and thank you also to the this society who have arranged such a wonderful session for me in this season. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. We're really honored to have with us, ma'am.
Thank you.
Finally, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to you, ma'am, for providing your valuable time and expertise. We extend our thanks to the audience for their active participation. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, yes, ma'am. Now, our audience, you may can leave.
May I leave? Is it over?
Ma'am, if you have anything more to say, you can share. Otherwise, we will end the session.
No, I have. I will share that. I would like to mention that I welcome all the participants for their work. Whatever they discussed with me, I think it will be beneficial for them. And thank you, the society, and thank you, thank you also for conducting the session in a very well, in a very interactive way. Thank you so much.
It is my pleasure, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank,
ma'am.
thank you.